Hey coin collectors, and welcome to the Big D Coin Channel. This is DC on the Big D with the 1946 Franklin Delano Roosevelt U.S. dime. It says Liberty in front of Roosevelt, In God We Trust down here under his neck. Way down here at the bottom, what they call the truncation of the neck, there's a J and an S, and that's for John Sinnock, who was the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, and he did this for coin first in 1946. And this is the first Roosevelt dime ever released. As many of you know, the Roosevelt dime came in 1946, replacing the 1945 Mercury dime. And there's Liberty at the top again, In God We Trust under Lady Liberty's chin, and then 1945 right here. And there's the engraver's initials on that one, Adolf A. Weisman. Both of these were silver, 90% silver coins. And on the back of the Mercury dime, we had, of course, the fasces, and the mint mark was down here. On the back of the Roosevelt dime, we have the torch, and that's one of the ways you can tell how good a version of the dime you have. It says United States of America on the top, E pluribus unum, one dime. You see over here there's an S next to it. So this is the Philadelphia mint with no mint mark. This is the San Francisco mint with the S mint mark. And this one over here is the one we're going to take a look at because this is the Denver Mint and it's in spectacular condition. The D right there for Denver. So at the Denver Mint in 1946, they made 61 million of these. So far, they've found 6, which are Mint State 68 full bands, and those go for about $4,600. This one is pretty darn close. It's probably not a Mint State 68, but it's got pretty good bands. It's got a great D on it. A couple little scratches going through. We see the back, and we see it does say United States of America, one dime at the bottom, E pluribus unum through here. This is an olive branch with 2 olives on it, and this is an oak branch, or an oak sprig, sometimes they call them, with 2 acorns on it. This coin weighs 2.5 grams. Silver quarter weighed 6.25 grams. It turns out that the dime is about 40% value of the U.S. quarter, and it's about 40% weight. And so what they did was, in the old days, the amount of silver in a dime would be proportional to the amount of silver in a quarter. So if you had 5 dimes, it would have the exact same amount of silver and weight as 2 quarters, or 50 cents. And in fact, the 50-cent coins were the equal of 2 quarters. The story of Roosevelt dying in 1945, he actually died on April 12th, 1945. He was our 32nd president. It may ring a bell to some of you about a more recent coin that we've had out. And of course, in 1963, we had the Franklin half-dollar coin, and this is, again, a silver coin. And the Franklin half-dollar coin was made from 1948 until 1963, but then President Kennedy died in 1963, and they came out with a 1964 Kennedy half-dollar. So the same thing happened with Roosevelt. They went from the Mercury in 1945 to the Roosevelt in 1946. Then in 1964, they went from the Franklin to the Kennedy. They made this coin at the Denver Mint, but they also made it at the Philadelphia Mint, which is this one right here. Philadelphia Mint, 255 million. If you can get this in an MS-68 full bands, they found 5 of them so far. They're worth about $10,500. And at the San Francisco Mint, which made regular circulation coins, and they just put the S on them in 1946. No proofs from here. In fact, no proofs from anywhere. They didn't have any proofs or any uncirculated mint sets in 1946. So everything you see here was a regular release coin, including this great condition one from Denver. So at the San Francisco Mint, they made 28 million of these. They found 2 so far at an MS-68 Plus. They're probably worth about $2,500 or more dollars. The Mercury dime, which it replaced, was made from 1916 to 1945. It actually saw the U.S. through 2 different world wars, World War I and World War II. The mint marks, of course, on the Mercury were the same place they were on the Franklin dime in terms of being on the back and down low on the left. Because they didn't make any proof sets, these are even harder to get than usual, or any mint uncirculated mint sets. These are even harder to get than usual in really good condition. They did make proof sets from 1938 to 1942, but they didn't make them through the war years after that, and then they didn't start them up again until 1950. And the uncirculated sets, they started putting them out again in 1947. If you're collecting these dimes, one of the things that you always need to know is that because it has about $1.50 to $2 worth of silver in it, the minimum price on these often exceeds the collector's price. You won't see one of these dimes usually for under $3 just because of the amount of silver that it has in it. And if you do see one for under $3, I would say just buy it because it's good, it's collectible, it's worth almost as much in silver as you paid for it. All right, that's all we have today from Big D Coins. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel, leave any comments you might have in the comments section.